Museums across Clinton County are opening their doors for their 14th annual Museum Days next weekend. Museums like the Kent DeLauren House have spent the week sprucing up and getting ready to open their doors, offering free admission to visitors next weekend on June 17th and 18th. And we are happy to be joined by Geri Favreau, who is the president of the Board of Trustees for Clinton County Historical Association and Museum in Plattsburgh. Welcome, it's good to see you. Jackie Madison is the president of the North Country Underground Railroad Historical Association and North Star Underground Railroad Museum in Ausable Chasm, New York. And Rachel Dutil is the marketing coordinator at the William Minor Institute and Heart's Delight Farm Heritage Exhibit in Chazy, New York, also a trustee at the Alice T. Minor Museum in Chazy. So nice to have you all. Welcome. Geri, why don't we start with what is Museum Days all about?
What it does, and it highlights all the museums in the county and gives them a chance to invite people to come in free of charge and see what they have to offer. And just about, I'm going to say not just about, all of them have something special that they plan for this weekend.
And for example, the Clinton County, the Historical Museum, what special exhibits do you have?
We have Dick Soper from the former Transportation Museum and some other volunteers. They installed a new exhibit upstairs in our Business and Industry Gallery. It talks about Plattsburgh Traction Company, the Lozier automobile company, which they manufactured parts here in Plattsburgh, but not the actual car, where GP is today, by the way. And he did an installation about Hotel Champlain that ties into the D&H Railroad. We have a lot to offer, but those are our newest ones.
Great. Yeah. And Jackie, what does the Underground Railroad Museum have for Museum Days?
We're actually doing Juneteenth celebration.
Right.
And we're doing that in collaboration with John Brown Lives and the Farm, as well as Elizabethtown. And we do have some partners with the SUNY Plattsburgh at the Truth, Racial Healing and Transformation Department and the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion departments. It will be the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
So 3 days.
3 days.
And Rachel, up at the Minor Institute, at Heart's Delight, and also at the Alice Minor Museum.
Well, at the Heart's Delight Farm Heritage Exhibit, we're really pleased that this year we have brand new Wayside Walk panels. So they were funded in collaboration with a grant through the Lake Champlain Basin Program. And so these panels actually existed. They've kind of been around since our exhibit opened in 2003, but they're freshly redesigned and they look great. In addition, our kind of standard heritage exhibit, and we do have a special work on the farm exhibit that we had last year and this year as well. I think over at the Alice T. Minor Museum, they actually have a new exhibit about their American Indian artifacts. So I think that will be really neat.
Fantastic. And at the Alice Minor Museum, what a collection of furniture, ceramics, glass. Just, I think people are just amazed what they see when they go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Geri, the hours vary slightly for the museums, but the idea is to get everybody open on Saturday the 17th, Sunday the 18th.
Yes, people should check the Adirondack Coast Cultural Alliance Facebook page and individual pages and the Press Republican, because some of the museums are only open one day, or it could be Saturday or it could be Sunday. Like the Memorial Chapel is only open on Sunday because they have the wedding on Saturday.
And you mentioned the Adirondack Coast Cultural Alliance. Is that the best Facebook page to go to that covers all the museums?
Yes, yeah, that's the best one, yep.
And you also put out a brochure every year called Passport.
Yes.
That highlights the museums and some of the special events that they have going on.
Yes.
And how can folks find those?
Well, they will be available at all of the museums and at the North Country Chamber of Commerce.
And Jackie, the museum has received some special recognition from the National Park Service. It's being added to a site on the National
indeed.
Underground Railroad Network to Freedom.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. The museum itself is going to be added as part of due to the archival collections that we have. That is, we will be recognized for that. And there is the possibility that we may also at some point be able to recognize the Stephen Key Smith farm. We're still working on that as well, with the hidden Underground Railroad site there.
And for folks that come to the museum, tell us what they discover when they get there.
Actually, a lot of people think of the Underground Railroads as just formerly enslaved people that are coming through this region, but we're actually the Underground Railroads. And that's because after the enslaved individuals made their way to freedom into Canada, they had the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act, which forbid Chinese Americans from coming in. And so they used this route to come back into America. So, and that took place in the latter part of the 19th century into the 20th century.
I bet a lot of people have never heard that before.
A lot of people don't know that. And then there's also, we haven't done an exhibit, but this was the route that was used by Vietnam draftees who did not want to go to war.
And Geri, the museum is part of several museums that are on the former Air Force Base.
Yes.
There's a museum campus there.
Yes.
So folks that come to the Clinton County Historical Museum could also go walk right across the street to the War of 1812 Museum, to the Plattsburgh Air Force Museum. There's a cluster of them right together.
Yes, it's so important what we're doing this weekend to all the museums because they all have a unique story to tell. You can go into the War of 1812 Museum and see a cabin, a life-size cabin that they built that's they think was a Pike's Cantonment, Zebulon Pike, and, you know, Pikes Peak in Colorado, is it? You know, same one. And you can see that there. So everybody has a really unique and so important story to tell.
And on the cover of the brochure this year
Yeah.
is the Lion Mountain Mining and Railroad Museum. And they have a new addition within the past couple of years, a locomotive that came from the Transportation Museum in Plattsburgh when it closed in 2018. They moved what exhibits they could to other museums. And we remember back in the fall of October 21, it took all day. Volunteers came together and carefully got that locomotive out of the museum and lifted it on a big crane and put it on a truck and took it up to Lion Mountain, where it now sits in a beautiful exhibit right outside of the museum.
Yes.
And that is such an important part of Lion Mountain's history.
Yes.
That small locomotives like that, small trains would carry the iron ore from the mines to the blast furnace, little smaller trains like that. Back in the day, Republic Steel had the mines up there. And you mentioned this year they have some special events going on at that museum.
Yes, they're offering 3 tours, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. I believe it's limited to 12 people. It's like a first come, first serve. The people will be able to walk up a kind of a rough road and go in and see some of the buildings that were still there from Republic Steel. It's kind of almost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because they had to get permission from the town to be able to do that, and you know, I'm sure there's liability issues and whatever. So they're doing something really special. Yeah.
And at the Miner Institute, at the Heart's Delight Farm, that really showcases what William Miner was all about. Inventor, farmer, philanthropist.
We're really proud of that history and being able to showcase it. And you know, I really think that William and Alice Miner, they touched the lives of just about everyone in the North Country and continue to do that even, you know, it's now almost 100 years after William Miner's death, but you know, through certainly the Alice T. Miner Museum and sharing Alice's collection, and through the continued support of Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital and the Chazy Central Rural School, in addition, right, to Miner Institute, it's just, it's a real lasting legacy.
Geri Favreau, Jackie Madison, Rachel Dutil, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you.